Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we have something that is about as epic as it honestly gets. As you can see right here in front of us, we have a Spinosaurus aegypticus skull replica from fossil crates, and on top of that we also have another replica over here showing us what the teeth would look like, a full-sized tooth replica of a Spinosaurus as well. And we also have this very cool envelope here that we'll go ahead and open up. It's got a fossil crate sticker here on the back. We'll pop that open here and see what's inside. They usually include some really fun stuff in these releases, and inside we have, first of all, we've got this that says, "Dear Fossil Fan, thank you for your purchase from Fossil Crates. You now own a piece of the past. Every fossil is faithfully reproduced from original material and then hand-painted to match the color of the real bone. These are the same techniques I use when building skeletons for museums all over the world. Your purchase is literally museum grade. I've spent over half my life searching for, digging up, and working on fossil skeletons. This is my life's mission, and it's a big deal to me that you've chosen to purchase from us. I hope that you get as much or more enjoyment out of your cast specimens as I got out of working on them." So that is super cool. That just shows you how much Fossil Crates cares about their overall product, and also kind of hypes up just how good of a product you are getting. On top of that, we also have a Fossil Crate sticker right here, which is really cool. Probably going to put that on one of my shelves that I have over here. And then we have a reconstruction here of a Spinosaurus head right here. Looks so cool. Beautiful artwork here by Fossil Crates. The back doesn't have anything on it, just blank, but we have another image here of the Spinosaurus. Again, pretty cool looking, very dark paint scheme there, or color scheme I should say, for the Spinosaurus right there. And then we also have an image here that shows off the skull of the Spinosaurus and also lets us know what all of the different parts of the skull is. So very informative. Fossil Crates is always great. On top of giving you some fantastic products, they're really good at teaching you and educating you about the dinosaurs that you purchase as far as the fossil replicas go. So then that brings us to our replicas that we have here. Again, the tooth replica of a Spinosaurus, and it looks super nice here within the package. We also have a card in there that I'm sure is going to tell us about the Spinosaurus. And then we have the Spinosaurus skull replica itself, and that is honestly one of the most high quality skull replicas I have ever seen in my entire life. Like, that is just gorgeous as far as the overall appearance goes. On top of that, the display that it comes with is incredibly high quality, museum grade, I would say. And we have an awesome name tag down here telling us that it is, again, the Spinosaurus. And you can turn it around here that says that we have Tribold Paleontology Incorporated here on the back side. And of course you can display this however you would like. The nameplate actually comes disconnected here, so you can see that you have to slide that in right there, so you can slide it into whatever way you would like. You can have the Spinosaurus displayed from this side. You can have the name tag over here. The Spinosaurus skull itself is actually displayed with a rod here, which can allow you to turn the skull. As you can see, it can turn anywhere you would like. So that is also pretty cool as far as this display goes. But honestly, what is more striking and more beautiful than looking at a fantastic skull replica that is so incredibly well done as far as the replica itself and the entire way that it is portrayed here? Just beauty. Unquestionably, Fossil Crates is the best company out there when it comes to releasing fossil replicas, and I have reviewed quite a few, and I have a lot in my collection, so I've definitely had some experience with fossil replicas in the past, and I can say with complete confidence that it honestly doesn't get any better than Fossil Crates. So let's go ahead and jump straight to a closer look at these right now. So as far as the tooth replica, again, you can see that we have a really cool card here that helps us with lots of information on the Spinosaurus, tells us the pronunciation, what it means, also where it lived, and gives us a pretty good idea of the size, as well as lots of information on the Spinosaurus down here, as well as an image of the tooth right there, and then of course the Fossil Crates logo. And then if we turn it around, we have the certificate of authenticity stating that this is, again, an official Fossil Crates product, which is even cooler to have the certificate of authenticity. And then we have the tooth replica, and look at that. That is just awesome. again, I really am continuously blown away by, first of all, how vibrant their casts are. Like, that is easily one of the most detailed replicas that I think I've ever seen. Like, every ounce of detail has perfectly been replicated in this cast. And again, it's pretty much the equivalent of holding a legitimate, real Spinosaurus tooth here in your hand. It is that high quality and that well done as far as the cast goes. Look at how awesome even the detailing here on the inside is. And then, of course, Fossil Crates always has to amp up their releases on top of giving probably the most high quality casts of their replicas. With the paintwork, it really takes it up another notch as far as the realism goes, and you can see how nice it looks as far as the many different tones of color that they have included here on this replica of the tooth, and also, beautifully highlighted every ounce of detail with some very nice dry brushing. And I love how nice the coloration looks on this. Again, we have quite a few different variations of browns and everything included. It is honestly expertly painted on the part of Fossil Crates, and you can see right there what a tooth like that would look like coming down on you. I would not want to be a fish if I were living in the Cretaceous somewhere near a Spinosaurus, and I also wouldn't want to be me either way if I met a Spinosaurus currently, because that tooth coming into my body does not seem like a good time. And then we have our Spinosaurus skull replica, and look at that. That is just unbelievable. I do have a Tyrannosaurus skull replica from Fossil Crates, and that is just incredible as well. But this is the first time I've ever had the opportunity to own a Spinosaurus skull replica, so I'm over the moon excited about this. But again, you can see, just like with the tooth replica, all of the detail of this is so unbelievably well done. The casting process that they use really captures every ounce of detail. As you lead through this, you can see anything and everything that was on the original skull is perfectly replicated here on this replica. And you can see all the cracks and crevices, any imperfections that are, on this particular skull are brought out beautifully here on this, and just looks again as lifelike and realistic as it gets. Like, it looks like it is a real Spinosaurus skull, obviously at a fraction of the size, but as you move along, again, the texturing, it's just so vibrant. The detail is so insanely well done, and you can honestly look at it and it feels like it's just a skull that I've just unearthed myself. And of course we have the teeth, and I like that they have painted the teeth. They've all been given a nice black coloration, so they stand out quite beautifully. They all genuinely look sharp. Again, I would not want to be in the mouth of a Spinosaurus. And if you take a look at it from the front, look at that. That is so cool. And you can really see just the very strong similarities between Spinosaurus and crocodilians looking at it here from the front. Like, if you don't look at it from the side, you can really see a very, very strong similarity right there. But again, looking at the opposing side, you can see just how nice it looks over here. Again, like I was stating, all of the cracks and stuff all throughout the original skull are brought out beautifully in this cast, and the paintwork yet again is as top-notch as it gets, and they've done a really good job of adding so many different tones of color and really nicely utilizing dry brush techniques so that all of the detail pops in the absolute most realistic way possible. Even areas like the nostrils, like I love how they've elaborated the nostrils with an alternate shade of color, and then other areas like the teeth, of course, are given alternate shades of color just to really elaborate the areas that need to be elaborated and make all of the detail that's all throughout this entire cast just pop in such an unbelievable and realistic way. You can get a good idea here of what the inside of the skull looks like. If we go on the underside, you can really see how nice the detailing looks and how they just honestly don't take shortcuts anywhere. Even the insides are as highly detailed and beautifully painted as it gets. You can also see again the Tribold Paleontology incorporated right here, and the fact that it is a 2021 release on the part of Fossil Crates. So that is just unbelievable. I cannot even begin to stress how excited I am to have the skull replica here of a Spinosaurus in my collection. And then we have our base for the Spinosaurus skull, and you can see it's a really nice wooden base, and then of course we have the name tag here. There's also an area over here which we have this rod. You take the rod and you slide that down in there so that it sits in there very nice and sturdy. And then if you look at the underside again, we also have some very nice circles here on the underside to stop it from moving around, keep it nice and still, and also so that it can avoid damaging whatever you put it on. But very nice presentation for the Spinosaurus skull. So let's go ahead, pop this back on, and get a size. Now, as far as putting it back on, you can see a hole here in the skull. You might want to take it out, kind of use your eyes to, line this up and get that in there. So once you actually have that in the hole, you can then put it back on the base and it stays in there very nicely and looks absolutely awesome. As far as a size goes for the skull replica, actually I would say down here would probably be the furthest point. You were looking at about 6 3/4 inches or a little over 17 centimeters. And then for a height, you were looking at about just shy of 5.5 inches or closing in on 14 centimeters, somewhere in that vicinity. As far as the tooth goes, for a length, you were looking at about the 4 3/4 inch range or a little over 12 centimeters. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, and Robert Muldoon from the Mattel Jurassic World toy line in comparison to our Fossil Crates Spinosaurus skull replica and tooth replica here, helping to show you that it's not super huge, it's not gigantic, obviously, it's not a full-size skull, so this also helps to show you that this is a very conveniently sized piece, and if you are looking for that very cool collectible that honestly will stand out more so than most, this is a great way to go because you could fit this pretty much anywhere without taking up too much room. A fantastic size as far as this skull replica goes. And if you are a collector like me, you have plenty of Spinosaurus models. What better way to display your Spinosaurus model next to a replica of a skull of a Spinosaurus? And you can see that here with the GR Toys Spinosaurus. It just looks absolutely phenomenal here in comparison to the skull replica. And again, pretty much the perfect way to display any Spinosaurus model. And then for a final comparison, here is the Fossil Crates Spinosaurus replica in comparison to the Fossil Crates Tyrannosaurus Rex skull replica, and you can see how cool the two look together. Again, another incredible way to display this skull. Definitely something to think about if you are in the market for a really cool skull replica and you would like to own both of these. Definitely check out Fossil Crates' website. So this Fossil Crates Spinosaurus aegypticus skull replica and tooth replica are both incredible. Again, one of the coolest fossil replicas I've ever had the opportunity to enter into my collection is definitely this Spinosaurus skull, because I've never had a Spinosaurus skull prior to this, so having one now finally is just so insanely cool, and knowing it's from Fossil Crates really just makes it all the more better because, like I had stated earlier, I feel like Fossil Crates has the best fossil replicas you'll find anywhere online because their fossil replicas are just so high quality. The way they cast the replicas just honestly is insane how much detail they pick up and transfer to the replica, and it really does just create an exact replica. Everything on the original fossil is brought to you perfectly and beautifully in the replicas that they sell. And then they paint them in the absolute most realistic way possible, where they really make sure that you see how incredible the cast is, because they bring out every ounce of detail on the replica that you are purchasing, and it shows beautifully in both this skull replica and the tooth replica. Every ounce of detail is incredible enough on its own, but the way they paint them, it just really makes the detail pop in the best way possible and just makes it look again like an exact clone of the fossil that they came from. So as per usual, Fossil Crates doing a fantastic job yet again with this really awesome new Spinosaurus skull, and again the tooth replica as well. And then you of course get the really cool information cards and everything with your purchases as well. So Fossil Crates, as always, going the extra mile to make sure you are one happy customer when you purchase from them. So if you are interested in picking this up, I will include a link in the description to the Fossil Crates website, where you can head on over there and check out not only this Spinosaurus skull and tooth replica, but all of the other incredible replicas that they have for sale on their website right now, including the Tyrannosaurus skull. And whichever route you choose to go, just make sure you pick up some of these awesome fossil replicas from Fossil Crates, because you will definitely be getting the most realistic fossil replicas you're going to find anywhere. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.